Hi everyone, I hope all of you guys are doing well. As a lot of you might know that I have been just recently transferred to a new place, because of which I will be quite busy in the upcoming weeks and also have been busy in the last few weeks. That's why I have not been able to put up a lot of good classes, good sessions where you can understand and learn more about UPSC. But regardless of that, today I'm going to make a short session and I'm going to continue to make these short sessions in order to tell you small tricks, tips, habits you can adopt during your UPSC journey in order to really do well and in order to actually become a better learner, better student, because that will help you in the long term. So the first very simple thing I'm going to tell you today is print out the last 10 years papers of UPSC from its website, prelims papers and also mains papers, maybe 5 years to start with, and keep them always on your desk. And when you are studying a particular topic, let's say you're studying polity or economics, then once you are done with a particular topic of that particular subject, go back to these papers and look at a few questions that might have been asked by UPSC in these old PYQs. Now, why am I telling this is so important? This is so important because you will get a context, you will get an idea, and you will be able to relate what you are studying to what is asked in the exam. You just don't want to study for the sake of it. You just don't want to finish chapters but not being able to relate them with actual questions that are coming in the exam. So that is why it is very important to form this link and to have this habit. Always having papers on the side, always having the syllabus on the side when you're studying on your desk, and always getting into this habit that after you have studied and completed a topic, going back to that particular previous year question or the syllabus and getting an idea what kind of questions have been asked, what kind of topics actually come in UPSC exam. This way you can also make a checklist that these are the few topics on which a lot of questions have come in the past few years. So I will give you an example. Let's say you are studying economics and you've just studied inflation. So from this topic inflation, various questions can be framed by UPSC. For example, it can frame a question about monetary policy committee. It can frame a question about any kind of technical terms such as quantitative easing. It can also frame a question on theoretical concepts like how does money supply affect inflation. So you should be able to read from the book the important things and get to know the important things, get to know the important theories and concepts, and that you will only know once you have read what kind of topics actually are coming from previous year questions. Now previous year questions will also give you a lot of hints about what are the consistent topics over the years that are asked by UPSC. For example, inflation from economics is actually one of those topics which is pretty much evergreen and everyone should understand it if they're preparing to appear for UPSC. Similarly, in polity there are a few chapters from which UPSC has favorites and it asks questions a lot of times. In fact, when I was appearing for UPSC, I remember UPSC consistently for 4-5 years asked questions on Buddhism very regularly, both in mains exam and preliminary exams. So I would say looking at previous year questions, having a copy just next to you and going through it. For example, every 3 or 4 days, I used to do this very diligently. Every 3-4 days, once I have finished a few topics, I would just go back to these previous year questions, look through them. Even if I'm not able to solve them, even if I'm not able to understand them, I would just make this habit to go through them slowly, take my time, look into. So for example, let's say I'm not able to understand any particular questions even after reading text, then I would go to YouTube, try to find good lessons on them. It doesn't have to be a UPSC related channel, it can be any channel that is explaining that concept. Similarly, I would also then go into any kind of credible sources online. For example, for understanding the UN, I would go to various UN websites and try to understand the structure of the UN, the structure of its climate change initiatives, because they are not properly explaining a lot of text. So this is the way you need to study for UPSC. You need to always have the copy of previous year questions and the syllabus next to you, and you need to go back and forth and always look through these, because that will really help you to really take your preparation and studying to the next level. I hope this class will make your preparation a little better. It will nudge you into the right direction, and I'm always here to help. So provide any kind of comments, any kind of questions you have in the comments, and I will get back to you. Thanks. Bye bye.